Hello and welcome to this tutorial on preparing to attend a Readiness and Emergency Management for Schools. REMS, Technical Assistance, TA, Center, On-Site Training by Request. If you are viewing this tutorial, you are likely already registered to attend a Resilience Strategy for Educators, Techniques for Self-Care and Peer Support Training, hosted by a school in your community. The goal of this tutorial is to prepare a brief introduction to the REMS TA Center and to provide information on preparing to attend the training event, including accessing the required training materials and completing the recommended pre-work to help ensure you gain the most benefit from the information presented on site. Let's get started. The REMS TA Center was established by the U.S. Department of Education in October 2004 and is administered by the Office of Safe and Healthy Students. We serve as a hub of information to support emergency management practitioners, including those representing K-12 schools and their community partners, in maintaining comprehensive all hazards and high-quality EOPs. We support our stakeholders with responsive technical assistance via our dedicated email address and toll-free number, as well as providing a number of virtual trainings, tools, information and resources, guidance documents, publications, and on-site TBRs. The primary method for accessing the TA Center's resources is our website, http://rems.ed.gov/. The center box on the homepage profiles information critical to school EOP development, including links to the Guide for Developing High-Quality School Emergency Operations Plans, from here on referred to as the School Guide. Let's take a moment to learn more about some of the specific resources available you may find helpful in your work. The TA Center offers self-paced online courses, which are available for use at any time, to provide school emergency management practitioners with an overview of the basics of school EOP development and in-depth information on sections including developing annexes for bereavement and loss, continuity of operations and food contamination, and planning for infectious diseases and large events. We also offer downloadable training packages featuring self-paced training materials with instructions, PowerPoint presentations, supplemental resources, and for select topics, tabletop exercises. We also offer interactive tools to support individuals and planning teams at schools in assessing their knowledge of concepts fundamental to emergency management and in creating and evaluating EOPs. And if you have specific questions you'd like to direct to TA Center staff, you can use our TA request form to submit your question. To access this form, visit the Request TA webpage. Let's now review the information you will need to prepare for the training event. The Resilience Strategies for Educators Training, Techniques for Self-Care and Peer Support is a curriculum designed to assist caregivers in schools and school districts to better understand resilience strategies following natural disasters and other emergency events. It was originally developed by the U.S. Department of Education's Office of Safe and Healthy Students and the REMS TA Center in partnership with the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, to assist caregivers in the Gulf Coast region whose schools and communities were impacted by the environmental and economic effects of the Gulf Coast oil spill and by prior tragedies such as Hurricane Katrina. Grief, loss, and change resulting from recurring disasters and their aftermath can leave school communities feeling anxious, confused, and insecure. As part of a comprehensive school emergency operations plan, it is important for schools and school districts to understand how to prevent, protect against, mitigate, respond to, and recover from critical incidents, including psychological recovery. The Resilience Strategies for Educators Training is designed to provide educators with a better understanding of resilience strategies that can be used to increase their ability to work more effectively with students impacted by stress, loss, and trauma brought on by community or family violence, natural and man-made disasters, and economic hardship. Training goals are to increase awareness and understand the impact of stress, burnout, and compassion fatigue on the comprehensive education, academic environment. To identify signs and symptoms of compassion fatigue, both professionally and personally. To create a professional self-care plan to support and improve effectiveness of current and future work with students impacted by stress, loss, and trauma. To outline action steps to implement psychological first aid, listen, protect, connect, or PFA-LPC, and to facilitate the creation of a practical application plan to be implemented within 60 days of training. When you registered for this training, you should have received a registration confirmation message with information on accessing the training materials online. We encourage you to review and even print the materials before attending the training event. These include presentation slides, activities and handouts, and additional resources. Let's quickly go over these materials so you are prepared to get the most out of your training day. The presentation slides are helpful to have on hand during the training day, and you can view them virtually by bringing along a laptop or tablet device, or in hard copy by printing them out ahead of time. They will allow you to follow along with the training and take notes throughout the day on anything you learn or want to return to later. You will access the activities and handouts at various points during the training. In particular, there are 3 main components of the training that will require use of these materials. During the training, you will be completing the Professional Quality of Life Measure, or ProQual. The ProQual is a free 30-item self-report measure of the positive and negative aspects of caring. It is the most widely used measure of the positive and negative aspects of helping in the world. The ProQual measures compassion satisfaction and compassion fatigue, 2 core topics that will be addressed in the training. Before you go, take time to review the ProQual handouts and ensure you will have access to the instrument during the training. You can complete it ahead of time if you want, but you will also be given time to do so during the training. You will also need access to the handouts on building a self-care action plan, because during the training you will be working to complete your own self-care plan, which is intended to help you avoid the pitfalls of compassion fatigue. At the end of the training, you will walk away with a self-care plan that you are encouraged to implement within 60 days. There are also several resources on psychological first aid, listen, protect, connect, model and teach, a brief and focused intervention that is considered to be able to reduce the social and emotional distress of children and adults after traumatic events. During the training, you will be doing several activities to help illustrate and bring life to the concepts of psychological first aid, so you can implement it in your own professional lives when helping colleagues who may experience compassion fatigue. Finally, there are handouts posted on additional resources related to the topics addressed in this training. It will be helpful to have those on hand during the training, but they will likely be even more helpful down the road as you continue to explore these topics. Similarly, once you have completed the training, be sure to come back for the post-training video, which will provide more information on additional relevant resources and things you can do to implement your learning in the weeks and months to come. This concludes our tutorial for today. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact the REMS TA Center's help desk by email at info@remstacenter.org or by toll-free telephone at 1-855-781-REMS or 7367 during regular business hours. We appreciate your time and your dedication to the important topic of school emergency management and wish you all the best for a productive and enriching training event.